Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. I am TobiWan.
And I am Maelk.
That's right, and we are back here again after having a bit of a break. We get to come back with our second best of three of the night. And I mentioned it at the end of the last game. We go USE service because we have a team, Speed Gaming, who is... I'm not going to say they're all US, but they like playing US East servers, going up against our other American team in this competition, being Team Dignitas. So
I heard a rumor saying Speed Gaming would actually relocate to America throughout October. We have the October 24th today, I believe. I still haven't seen them in America.
I haven't seen them in October, but I do know that they are going to China. And they'll be in China for a 5-month period, I believe it will be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not quite America.
No, a little bit opposite side of the world. But let's actually have a look at Speed Gaming. The guys are all inside the game, almost ready to go. So let's have a look at the boys. So bring them up on the screen. They are led, well, I would say led by their captain, Eternal Envy, but they've changed it around a little bit more now. Envy is in the 1 position for farming, but they've given Pylai Dai the main job of doing all the drafting and stuff. But like all teams, draft as a team. Got their famous star, Sing Sing, one of the most popular streamers out there in the world. In their lineup too. Bone7, I love his offlane, man. I don't know about you, but I actually kind of like shed a tear when I thought the Clockwork wouldn't be played anymore. And then all of a sudden it's just like, wait, no, Clockwork will still be played a hell of a lot, really.
He's a very good offlaner. He's also kind of a trendsetter. Like we've seen the Midas Darkseer, for instance. I think Bone7 created that little nifty idea. We saw the
Armlet Clock.
Armlet Clockwork, the Mask of Madness Bat Rider. All these things.
Oh, that fast movement speed.
Yeah.
It was basically, the only one that could walk fast, and that is Bloodseeker when he's got, like, heroes on low life.
Yeah, so that's like, Speed Gaming is definitely an interesting team to follow and watch because they do different strategies, they do their own kind of play style, and they have some players that can really, really do some sweet moves from time to time. Sing Sing obviously being one of the, community Reddit favorites, doing some crazy stuff from time to time, and then of course Bone7 sort of trademarking himself as the player to do wicked, crazy builds.
I like it too with what the Speed Gaming guys do when they draft. Like, Sing Sing's one of those guys where I kind of feel like you've got to go, oh, that's not a good sign when Dota 2 Network is currently offline. That has me slightly concerned. But something I do like about Sing Sing is when he does these, like, he's able to get heroes in the middle lane where he's comfortable. Like, he's been trying Mirana, he's been trying Shadow Shaman with the new patch as well. Like, I'm feeling like Sing Sing's kind of got a lot more room to grow in this lineup of speed.
I think Shadow Shaman is one of those heroes that are really, really good now. So everyone would look good with the Shadow Shaman. But also Sing Sing coming from a Heroes of Neverth background. I know both him and No Tail love to play the equivalent of a Shadow Shaman in Heroes of Neverth. And it's just so very good now. And it's like when you get a Garnum set up on the hero, the wards basically deal double damage. And in this version, they've added 2 additional wards to the bunch. And because the version is so push heavy, that hero just really shines, has a ton of disables, has some AoE blast down, he has good farm ability, a great Gengar as soon as you get the Blink Dagger up and running, and then of course the wards to take down towers. It's just so exceptionally good. Plus, you combine the wards into a ward trap and you can kill off anyone. Like you see some phenomenal Rasta players can even kill off 2 people by ward trapping 1 player and shackling 1 nearby. So once the wards are done with whoever you're shackling, you can just go back to the guy trapped or the other way around.
It's actually possible to trap up. I don't know mechanics-wise if it's possible to trap up 2 players now inside the walls, because you've got an extra set of wards in the count now. They went up by, I think it was 2 in the changelog. So...
Well, presumably it might be, like, probably comes down to hero size as well.
Just get RP and then you got this perfect circle of, like, mass serpent wards around them.
I mean, I think you're going to have a hard time, for instance, surrounding a Magnus and a Doombringer at the same time. Tidehunter and a Potch. I don't see it happening.
No, it'll be rough.
Too fat.
It'll be rough.
Maybe if they go on a diet.
Well, then again, Pudge, he's now eating new food. He's eating Blink Daggers for breakfast.
Oh, I would have loved to
seen that game.
Seen the Navi game. I'm gonna expect
there'll be VODs. There'll be VODs somewhere.
Not only does like Navi play the Potch a lot, and now with the Blink Dagger, that's gonna be amazing to follow. But also Navi has been known in the past, like a year back, they played a lot of the Vengeful Spirit. I would have even in the farming capacity. So it could be awesome to see what you could actually do with a Vengeful Spirit. How aggressive you could really take it now that you can buy a Blink Dagger as well, because you can really, really catch some enemies now.
Well, actually, VS has appeared a lot more too. And ever since the change, we've seen VS appearing a lot more. Obviously, it's not like what we saw from the original Speed lineup, which was to run a Total Envy as a VS hard carry, and then it was
that's what
pure
I meant.
auras.
Navi did the same thing where they would basically farm up like power threats and Garnum Scepter or stuff like that, and just really use her early on with her aura and everything. It didn't really It was pretty strong also because of her laning capabilities. They used to run Venomancer and Vengeful Spirit on the middle lane and completely crushed all opposition in doing so. So I have high hopes for this version, and because of all the early aggression that is enforced, and because of Venomancer seeing play again, and with Vengeful Spirit being allowed to have a Blink Dagger, I think we can expect great things to happen, especially from a team like Na'Vi, but also Speed Gaming now.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Dignitas, like I was saying earlier, we saw them at MLG Full Sail, and they didn't really seem as strong as I would expect a team of their caliber to be.
Yeah, they ended up actually dropping games in the final of it as well, which was very... I don't know if disconcerting is probably the best word I could use for it. But it was very, yeah. There's not a lot of confidence in the Dignitas lineup right now. I remember I was having a chat with, I think it was it Clairvoyance or Bulba, was where I was having my... Sorry, I don't know why those things are flashing up. It was either with Clairvoyance or Bulba, and we're discussing who was the top team in America right now. And the discussion was between, was it EG, or was it Team Liquid, or was it Dignitas?
No, it's probably like, with the crowd favorite, I'd go with Liquid, considering their like the sort of American success they enjoyed at TI. Like, they didn't really go deep or anything, but they did win some important games and showed some great Dota, and I think that carries over. And we haven't really seen Liquid play in much as of late, but they're going to Korea, obviously.
Yep.
Cannot wait to see how they'll fare there. What?
It's a nice way of talking about it.
Yeah.
You're so EG, man. You're so EG. Liquid have been playing a couple of games recently already. In fact, right now they're playing right now up against Team Empire. But their previous results haven't been that shabby, especially in the Champions League. They've come up with a couple of results. So they've already managed, like, they got beaten out by Speed, obviously not that great.
Alliance as well.
But Liquid were able to take out Na'Vi. They 2-0'd out the new, what are they called? Sigma. That is their new name now. Formerly known as Flipside Quantic. They got picked up by a sponsor.
Right.
So now they're known as Sigma. And they took out Na'Vi twice, in fact. The last time, was on the 17th
like
of the 10th.
Close series, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's Liquid still finding their groove. Obviously, their new players, they gelled a lot better than I thought they would have. Like, they really did. Koifer is kind of like, there's still a couple of moments when he makes plays and you're like, okay, like an Aegis Prophet early on, and you're diving in very, very deep.
I think Koiker was like the best player on the old mouse lineup. A lot of people were talking about Black and his ability to farm and so forth, but Koiker at EMS, if you remember, he really came into his own and showed just how good his Tinker especially was.
Oh, yeah.
And his Nature's Prophet as well. So I think Koiker was probably the biggest talent that they could pick up from the mouse lineup. I was a bit curious to see that they actually picked up a European. But I expect great things of him in the lineup.
Yeah, but I remember when Bulba was like first like, hey, so who do you think we're going to pick? Who do you think we're going to pick? Come on, have a guess. And I'm like, Bulba, like, I don't know. Who are you going to take? What's going to happen? It's like, oh, we're going to get an offlaner, Koifer. And I'm like, yep, what? Okay. He's such an obvious selection because he's the way he plays is so aggressive. It's like having Bamboo aggression without the death.
I'd say he's more farm oriented, if anything. But yeah,
you think? Because I see him zone heroes out of the way.
Oh yeah.
I
in a one-on-one capacity, he's really good at pressuring his enemy. But once he isn't against a one-on-one, like that's where he revolves into more of a farming kind of role, and he always gets his items up and going. And that's what I find impressive, because even though you have a one role on your team, Koikve can most often actually match him in terms of farm. And we're talking about a team that's not even playing in this game.
Yeah, so I know. We spent so much time talking about them because the original team we wanted to talk about was the other team, which is a little bit underrated, and that's Team Dignitas, who we bring up on our screen right now. And they have changed up their lineup a little bit, actually bringing a guy from the old Absolute Legends roster in here.
Yeah, we haven't seen Bleak in competitive play for over a year now. Ever since TI2, he sort of just disappeared from the scene. He was playing with the Australian team back then, Absolute Legends, when they had an Australian lineup.
Yep.
And we just haven't seen him competitively ever since then. So I'm glad to see him back in a competitive aspect in Team Dignitas, because he was a super nice guy, but also a fairly talented carry player.
Yeah, and he was. We always kind of thought like it was just because we're playing on a US West server and you could play on that one. All the European teams have to connect over there, and then Bleak had like the ping advantage. Be like, that's the only reason why he was a great player. But he also showed it when Absolute Legends. I believe he did. Actually, did he come with them to the DreamHack?
Yes.
He came with them to DreamHack because I remember like he
got knocked out by EG.
Yeah, that's why you remember it, is it? Because it was EG that did the knocking. Obviously, yeah. But Absolute Legends, like they failed badly at that event, but still Bleak performed well. That's what I remember. I'm just like if my memory is playing tricks on me or not with their hard carry. But either way, good times, great music. Time to get into this game, though. So game number 1 of this best-of-3 matchup between Dignitas as well as Speed Gaming. And Speed Gaming so far, man, they are very, very comfortable here in the Championship League. They've already managed to get 2 wins. In this, sorry, I say 1 win. They're sitting at 1 win over Fnatic. And that was a very quick matchup last night. There was a 14-minute GG.
They beat Navi as well, didn't they?
No, you're thinking about... Actually, yeah, what am I talking about? I'm mixing up Sigma and Speed. Yeah, you're right. They're actually 2-0 because they beat both...
Navi and Liquid.
Navi and Liquid.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm here, Toby.
Thanks.
I will hold your hand throughout the entire cast.
You can actually physically do that now because you're here in the studio.
That's not all I can hold, if I really wanted to.
I think I should have a say in this as well.
A great pickup from Speed Gaming coming into the Chen pick here, because that's one of the heroes that's exceptionally annoying to play against for a Clockwork, simply because of the creeps being able to block as well, and so forth. And again, we were talking about this earlier, how Speed Gaming wanted to push. And now they have the Chen, they have the Luna. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to go for an all-out Aura lineup and just pick up the Beastmaster, potentially even a Vengeful Spirit, like a very popular lineup to run with a lot of synergy that you can just... It has everything. It has the gank potential, it has the push potential, and moreover, it has the late-game potential. And team fight, for that matter. So...
Well, you get your Necro book wish from last time. Maybe Speed will give you your Beastmaster.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I've seen Sing Sing handle a Beastmaster. It's
theoretically, Bone 7 might do so.
Well, you could do that, but Bone 7 also would want to have, with this kind of lineup, like a Nature's Prophet above the Beastmaster and just having the Aura stack up. Unless
then we're out of the synergy.
Unless you could ensure him like the offlaner. Like, you've already got the Lich being banned out by Pylai Die. There's no way Speed will ever let this hero ever get past the first 2. But on top of this now, you look at it and say, I'm feeling dual lanes, in fact, out of this with a Luna as an offlaner.
What?
Yeah. Follow me on this one. Because for me, I think the days of a tri-lane are almost over. And I'm feeling the days of dual lanes is coming up.
And do you think Alliance would agree with you?
I think Alliance already have agreed with me.
Oh, because that's funny. Because in the games I just watched, I don't know if you remember, but an hour ago, Alliance just played tri-lanes twice in a row.
Yeah,
well, they were sort of forced into it in the second game. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because they were trying to float it. They initially, I think, when they drafted, they weren't looking to it. Like, I think more teams are trying to realize now that you can get so much more out of the lanes when you do dual lanes. And you can still have these heroes which can stand by themselves. Like Clockwork is a hero which technically can stand by himself. If you throw another supporter down there, then you're either going to win the lane or you're allowed that supporter to rotate down and you can control more runes. And then you got a dual lane up on the top. It gets over greedy when you run a Chen and a Luna together. But you have heroes like Doombringer, for example. They also can go quite happily solo on these off lanes now because the creep wave's so much closer back in towards the tower.
I wouldn't say quite happily, but yeah, it's definitely viable. But there's a big difference because you want to optimize your lineup the most, and putting, like, doing something that can be done but isn't optimal. Those are 2 completely different things, and I don't think you would still want to put melees on the solo offlane. It's better now, but
unless you have like a Timbersaw.
Yeah, like Timbersaw, Clockwork, Beastmaster. Those heroes still function because they've always worked in a sense. Beastmaster sort of fell out of favor, but Clockwork was still seen a lot in the offlane, and I still think that's very viable. Dignitas bans out the Nature's Prophet, so that's not going to be the hero. I'm almost 100% sure we're going to see a Beastmaster pick up. And we might be looking to see a melee on the middle lane as well. Wonder which one though, but I'm assuming because they ban out the Puck and the Storm Spirit, they really don't want to get their melee hero on the middle lane punished. It might even be the Beastmaster on the middle lane.
Mm-hmm.
And you could still see, as you were saying, a dual lane on the bottom lane. Just to make a Siren. A hero we saw banned out in the virtus.pro versus Alliance matchup in both games.
That wasn't the hero I was expecting that from Speed Gaming.
No, me neither.
I was expecting a Visage, actually, above the Naga Siren. The main reason being because I know Speed used it up against Fnatic yesterday, where you get the high damage up on a Visage when he stays in the lane with a Luna. And you can run these guys on the safe lane, and any hero that comes in close just keeps taking, like, huge amounts of damage, and then you got the Grave Chill, which gives you even more time to deal out that damage. But they go with the Naga, and then we get the CM pick up here from Dignitas. So they have the makings of aggression from the CM and Lifestealer up on that top lane, but Naga's also a good controller up against... I suppose it's a stopgap. Like, you want to have the Bane, but you don't want to have exactly the Bane. So you get the Naga instead, so you got the net to hold the Lifestealer in position.
Yeah, it's still one of the best supports around. There's the Mirana pickup, and that's probably a...
Team Dignitas.
Well, is Sing Sing solo mid?
Are you sure? Like,
I would bet a large chunk of my rares on that. Yes.
Okay, I'll trust you on that.
You trust me on this one?
But back when they didn't have Sing Sing in the lineup, opponent 7 would actually offlane the Mirana quite often.
Agreed.
And go like with another weird item build. He would rush a Desolator. Like, he would literally just rush into a Desolator on his offlane Mirana sometimes.
10 seconds.
The only reason why I'm saying this is because the same thing happened from Speed last night. And Clairvoyance and I had the same debate last night too, where I was like, it's going to be Bone 7 offlane, and Claire was like, no, it's going to be Mirana solo mid. So if I'm wrong this time around, I'm like, oh, god damn it.
No, you're probably right in Mirana being on the middle lane. Also with the Storm and Pog bans, they still make sense because they're two heroes that are fairly good against the Mirana in catching her and picking her off.
Well, Dignitas, give us your last one. Do we go support or do we get a core beforehand? Because right now I'm pretty sure they know who they're going to get up in that middle lane. And I'm still seeing one hero, which I'm surprised hasn't been touched yet. And that's OD. Hasn't also been connected. I suppose with Lifesteal and Crystal Man, you don't really require it. I'm just thinking about who's going to be able to win out in that lane. And you want to put a Mirana up against an OD in the mid. We actually get a Windrunner instead. That's...
I mean, with the new version, all the lane matchups right now puzzles me, and anything can really happen.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that
like Dignitas lanes are so very open; they can do anything from here. They can go for like Windrunner could literally be in any lane they wanted her to be. She could take the support role. She could be on the middle lane against the Mirana and do better last hits. She could be on the off lane. She could be in a dual lane. The Clockwork, same thing. Well, not really in a supportive role, although it's not unheard of.
Yeah.
And they could even aggressive tri-lane with the Lifestealer, or they could just dual lane with the Lifestealer and the Crystal Maiden. So plenty of opportunities for Team Dignitas, and I think that's what's playing into their favor right now, that they actually have Speed Gaming worried about what their lanes are, because you can't really decide what Team Dignitas is gonna lane in this.
Isn't it just at that point you go, well, I'll go with the hero which works the best for us and wins up against everybody? That could be one way of approaching it. Whatever synergy you're searching for. Now, you've got one more core to go. You've already got both Luna and Mirana together. Like, I think this is now... Because we had this almost exact lineup from the Speed Gaming the other night with both the Luna and Mirana together. And I believe this is actually going to only be the third time in all of Dota 2 history that these two heroes find themselves in the same draft together. If I remember my stats from yesterday correctly. So they ban out the SF. So they're still thinking that Windrunner is not going to be a solo mid. They're not thinking that at all. If you ban out the SF, I suppose you could have SF as a safe laner by yourself up against a long lane.
I think that SF ban was very reasonable. I mean, Mirana can really punish the SF if it's a good Mirana, but in general, SF, if a bit cautious, would just free farm against the Mirana.
All right, so yeah, Alan didn't give me these stats yesterday. He said, "Oh, Sing Sing's Mirana is absolutely amazing," but he never actually told me why it was amazing. And now he's finally sent the stats through to me. Sorry, he's not inside the game. People's he'll be back for next game. He had a meeting to run off to. But a 5-game win streak with 34 kills, 12 deaths, and 51 assists on that Mirana.
That's a pretty good rate in a competitive setting.
Yeah, it's looking good, man. Timbersaul's gonna be the last man out here by 1437. Also, the man doing the draft for the team.
Do you see a pattern in 3 of the 4 heroes in Speed Gaming's lineup right now? What is the pattern, Toby?
I'm thinking Moon.
10 seconds remaining.
Actually, I only get 2 in that.
Yeah, that's only 2 of them. I think.
5 seconds remaining.
What are you
This
thinking?
is trivia for the viewers now that the trivia. That's the Beastmaster.
Oh, you get your wish, man.
I do, and
We,
that's the
we,
Pugna.
we should have trusted you from the very, very start. Both Necros and Beastmaster appearing tonight.
So 3 of the heroes in Speed Gaming are mounted.
True. And then what? Beastmaster is the master of the beast that they're mounting. But then you got Nagasiren. How does Nagasiren fit into this? She's like the black sheep in this.
I'm getting all excited just by talking about mounting stuff right now. I'm curious to see the Pugna pick up because they don't really have a push-oriented lineup from Team Dignitas. And on the other hand, Speed Gaming does have a push lineup. So maybe it's just to counter the push coming out from Speed Gaming. Pugna is one of the best anti-push heroes, as well as being one of the best push heroes.
See, I was wondering if it's like it's also on the other side of things. You got both your damage is being dealt out by physical
5
DPSs.
seconds remaining.
Both Mirana as well as Luna. You've obviously got the magical part of those guys as well. But a large portion of it's going to come through the right clicks.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Pugna doesn't make any sense to me, because first of all, Netherward isn't really good against the Speed Gaming lineup. Second of all, they could always just sleep, take down the Netherward if it was ever a problem.
Yeah.
As well as they can sleep and take down the Nakes.
Unless you start looking at the Decrepify, because Decrepify was reworked, so it's only 25% magic amplification on it, and then you don't take the physical damage. So it's buying time for somebody to like either rage again or Crystal Man to get her ulti off or something along those lines. Maybe. I'm clutching at straws, obviously, for this one, because I agree with everything you just said. It doesn't make 100% sense, the Pugna pick up, apart from early game pressure of their own.
There's definitely much better pickups. What Dignitas can do in this situation, though, is to run the dual lanes we were talking about, and then put the Crystal Maiden and the Life Stealer on the... I'm assuming on the bottom lane, and then have the Clockwork and the Windrunner go on the top lane, because they both have sort of pseudo escapabilities in the Windrunner and the Cogs. So Chen can't actually hurt them. And Siren, Luna, Chen, I mean, they rely on the net to close them down, but against Cogs, that's very hard to begin with. And on the bottom lane, Crystal Maiden and Lifestealer should have an easy time against the Beastmaster. So I think the lanes are looking really, really good for Dignitas, but they also need to capitalize on having the better lanes in this matchup, because once Speed Gaming gets their items up and going, they can push down the towers very, very fast, unless Pugna and the rockets from Clockwork and there's decent anti-push from Dignitas. That's actually fairly good.
But once they group up, and if you get the burst gold in too, because it's the other thing of the Beastmaster off lane, is remembering the ancient stacks. It was always one of those things where the Beastmaster would walk back, you'd stack up the ancients here, and then when the creep wave would hit your tower, you'd still sit basically back on like that side of the line, and you get your experience. But the creep wave comes a little bit closer now, so you're going to get faster levels up on the Beastmaster, and then that means you can get your boar up a lot faster, and you can just start that basic stacking while not walking too far away from the experience at the bottom. It also means your Raw's going to be coming up a lot earlier, and then when Luna's ready, like even if Beastmaster's not going to get the levels from the Ancient stack, he can give it all over to that Luna.
But he's definitely going for the Ancient stack. Wow, look at all these tangos. So he's definitely going for the Ancient stack, because you can see he's building into the Soul Ring, so he's expecting to just continuously axe down that Ancient spot.
It is rather deceptive when you see that many tangos out there, but they are the shared tangos.
Yeah.
So they're not as great. But as far as the lineup goes, we will have Dignitas up here on the top lane. We'll have Infinity taking up the role as the Clockwork up here. Looks like he'll be babysat by 1437, the support Windrunner on this top lane. Puts Bleak.
Let's see beat his inventory, because he doesn't have any wards, so I'm curious to see if 1437 is going to go down and actually ward up the Ancient spot from the Beastmaster. They would be wise to do so, but I'm pretty sure he's not gonna, since he's staying on the top lane.
Hey, you could have handed the wards over, but then again, like, what are you going to do? Send a flying courier up there? It's not going to work. Pile die. That's some serious commitment to get rid of some wards.
But Speed Gaming is going to take such a huge lead with all the jungling that they can do on the side of just getting lane experience. So not only do they have the Beastmaster stacking the pull spot, they also have Aoi on the Chen in the jungle. So they're just going to have a much higher income, both in terms of experience, but also gold. And that's going to hurt Dignitas in the long run, because they're banking everything on winning their lanes.
I love watching these heroes try and do body blocks. And while Bone7, I want to give him props that he managed to block that lane for so long. With a huge speed bonus, you don't really get there. And now on the top lane, you see one range creep gets through, and the lane's held in position where in both Infinity and 1437 are happy with this kind of positioning. Middle lane's obviously still going to be the same, but Sing Sing, in fact, has the advantage in this one. And they're going to try and force him out of this, but Sing Sing will just use a couple of his shared tangos and he'll be fine for that. And then on bottom lane, Bone 7. Wow, he's actually done a lot of harassment damage to beat this. Mr. Frost level 1. We've got open wounds available as well for Bleak, but slowing Bone 7 down won't get them the kill here at all.
That's a lot of time wasted and spent. I don't know why they kept chasing, as if Lifestealer should...
Like, should have gotten range for like his level 1 open wounds, which was already nerfed 2 patches ago.
He was magically hoping for something to happen. Bone 7 misclicking back or something.
Bone 7 turns around, it's like,
Yeah, but that Stout Shield really allows him to just trade hits with beaters.
Ah.
And he got a lot out of that. Like, they missed an entire creep wave of experience in gold.
Let's look at our top lane too, because I want to watch this Luna closely, because at this point Eternal Envy is now 2 for 1. Up against a Clockwork that is 4 for 2, and Windrunner that's always just hovering by. Like, Pilot Eye starts to pull up right now, but Luna has to tank this up. He's only got tangos left. Like, his own tangos and he's got a shared tango left. He's burnt through every other piece of consumable that he's got. He's almost willingly doing this as well. It's almost to the point where you got to be picking up a bottle up on this Luna in order to do what he's trying to do on the top lane. And like, what are you going to do? Get early Tranquil Boots or Bone 7? This guy should be our first blow. If he doesn't, he actually juked it.
Oh my
And now they're
god, that was beautiful!
They're actually locked in there now because of the creep wave. They couldn't turn around to chase him. In fact, Bone 7 could almost turn this to... he doesn't have mana for it. I thought maybe if he had axes, he could look at the Crystal
Those
Maiden.
mind games were like... That was very, very amusing to see. He knew that eating that tree and then running the other way would still cause Lifestealer to chase upwards because... that was a beautiful play by Bone 7.
now you understand also, like, I think you're in the same boat as me. We love watching this guy play offlane. Like, these small little movements, just wonderful to see. Wonderful to see. And Beaters would just be scratching his head saying, well, that's just like the toilet door. Don't know how to unlock it.
Toby would, of course, refer to an incident happening at EMS where Beaters may or may not have fallen ill and could not
Open a door.
open a bathroom door. The lock was too complex.
He locked himself in first. That's the critical part of it.
Yeah.
It's the critical part. Yeah, sorry. Love your Beaters. Love your Chuckles. Love you. Anyway. Eternal Envy at least now finding a little bit more space up on this top lane. He's catching up on that CS. Now he's gone Boots first item. He's got 1 tango left, however, so I'm still slightly concerned about this. But I got a feeling we're just going to be looking at Helm of Ironwell. And just quickly, armor up, life up, maybe even life steal at level 1. So he's going to be ready for the Ancient
Smoke
stack.
gang coming out from Ari, but he has like one of the worst possible creeps to ever do a smoke gang with. It's a Hellcaller. Like, it's 100 guaranteed damage, sure, but it doesn't really offer anything in terms of slow or disabling.
Oh. So maybe the chance. He does have his nuke at level 2. So Sing Sing takes enough damage here from Korok. And he now... Oh, wow, he leaped in. He leaped in. He's been chased behind the Shatter Blast. Well, it's a little bit of extra damage on Korok. Well, owie, there goes your arrow. He tried to decrypify himself and Sing Sing felt it out perfectly.
Beautiful
1-0.
play by Sing Sing.
It's also rather good that arrow is magical damage because technically his Decrepify just made himself even more powerful. Now he's going to get some free levels. Sing Sing even takes 1 last hit before he's sent back to base. But he'll TP back out again. Wraithband, Boots, and in fact going to go a phase build as well. Very good start for Speed. And now Infinity trying to catch up to Pilot Eye, but he won't reach it in time.
So those early boots on Pilot Eye and E Sama is really a wise item choice from both of them, knowing that the Clockwork can't really hurt them much until he's level 6, as long as they have boots.
Sing Sing.
Dire's middle tower is under
He has to know that's a DDing up, or... He has been so over-aggressive in this middle lane.
Well, it's not over-aggression if you make it work.
Dire's middle
How's
tower
Bone 7
is
looking
under
too? I'm
attack.
looking at Ancient, yeah. See, Boar already, we have level 2 up in Call of the Wild. Now, they changed Call of the Wild too, didn't they?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Now you can actually choose whether or not you want to summon both. Like, they have their individual spawn times and then split up the mana cost as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helps him out a lot. Because he doesn't actually need that bird right now.
Well, trouble on the top lane. Nagasaran going to go down. Clockwork with a
Wow.
Lucent Beam. He's able to live through that as well.
I wonder if E thought he had that or he was just backing off because of the Windrunner.
Not sure. Could have been both. I also noticed too on the wall because I was wondering, it's like, oh, 1437's fishing for the shackle. I I know it's because, like, normally, obviously, you only get the Hawk at level 1. But the ball has a 0-second duration, so technically you cannot spawn it. I'm wondering if that does mean you still burn through the 15 mana if you click it.
Huh. Interesting.
Because it's a 0-second duration. Yeah, level 1. Actually, it says level 1 not available. So maybe it was grayed out at the start.
Yeah, right.
But just in case it becomes available through magic of something.
What is your take on pausing for a phone call? Like, if that happens to me in a matchmaking game, I just instantly unpause. Like, and that's matchmaking. Collectively wasting 9 people's time for you to take a phone call. Nope.
If it's something like my sister is in hospital and it's quite possible that like a baby will be born this night, then I wouldn't have started matchmaking in the first place, and I'll be at the hospital.
Exactly. There's never any good excuse. Like, people have 2 hands for a reason. Pick up your phone with the other one then.
It's just if you're able to focus on the game at the same time.
Well, he's at work. Like, you don't take personal calls when you're at work. This is work for him.
True.
Sorry, I'm ranting, but I just hate people taking phone calls and pausing for everyone else. I hate the time waste.
Is that why you're checking your phone during the second game of our last one?
Yeah, like, I'm busy with work, Toby. I'm here on my free time.
Actually, no, you were right because you actually hung up that call. I saw the call come
Yeah,
in. You actually hung it up. So, a man that lives by his own.
You know, I
his
have
own
people
words.
wanting to get in touch with me constantly. There's all the honeys. They haven't called for a long time.
Of course not.
Call me.
Don't make that call.
I'm still here.
Unless you're asking for my number from him. Then it's fine. Remember, he's the color of Maelk.
I'm fair-skinned. In some cultures, that's actually very sexy. Some cultures.
Maybe it's more sexy on me then too, because I'm actually a lighter shade than you, because you actually have a tan now.
Right, you're actually a
I'm
lighter shade of pale.
Yeah, it's like I'm not even like full cream. I'm like soy.
Soy? Soy's black.
Soy milk's not black.
Oh, soy milk.
Yeah,
Oh, I was thinking soy sauce. I was like,
no. I just said like you're the color of Maelk. Oh, Highlight die. You're in trouble. Decrepify, Ghost Scepter. Away.
Wow, that was a fast kill.
That's a lot of quick damage too. I like the change up that also happened to his ultimate, where it actually siphons the. Is that with the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, where it actually starts to siphon mana instead of the health if you're already at full health? So you can actually technically replenish all of your mana again as well after doing the fight. I can't remember the exact changeover for it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I noticed all the changes on Axe.
Why is he not first pick now?
No, I don't think he's necessarily good. I think even though Calling Blade had a lot of positive buffs to it, it's also a fairly big nerf that he has to be very low for it to even go into effect. I didn't really care for that too much.
Eternal Envy. He has level 6. I'm just saying 1437's playing with fire right there. Knowing he can windrun himself away, but if he gets mini-stunned, he'll take the full brunt of that Eclipse.
If there was a net nearby as well.
Pilot Eye was nearby, but he wasn't close enough. It's the reason why Speed Gaming dewatered that. Like that initial observer ward that was here. Actually, sorry, it was over here. Like they took that out as quickly as they possibly could, so they would have access to get Naga in close enough to possibly get a net.
This is just so very typical an EE lineup. If anyone remember back when he was in Alliance before he got the boot, they would actually just jungle up all their items for 30 minutes. Like they didn't even care to take down towers or put on aggression. They would just sit and optimize their farm through the jungling. And they're doing just that right now. They have one hero pulling on the top lane. They have the Chen farming up the other spots. And then they have the Beastmaster on the bottom lane stacking and taking care of those creeps. Beat is coming in.
He should be rather careful though, because like he's trying to take a little bit of the creeps away from him. But at the same time, if he gets caught out, I don't think Bone 7 knew this, because obviously we're in our first nighttime cycle already. So the vision is really, really low for a lot of these heroes.
Have you noticed how this particular Crystal Maiden set looks like Princess Madeline of Sweden?
You're right.
She's a hottie.
I was actually in Sweden when they got married.
Oh. Did you wish it was you?
Marrying her, I doubt anyone would say, you know what, I wouldn't want to marry her. Yeah, I'd go with that. Bone 7? Oh, he just lost... okay, he's lost 4 of these to this very meddlesome Crystal Maiden. That's some good experience for Crystal Maiden. Like,
Yeah,
she's
he
sitting
almost
almost
got a
level
full
5 now.
Got a full level off of that.
And asking to attack. And Bleak is all for it. He's got phase boots, open wounds. There's TP support coming in. And that's a level 6 Bone 7. And I think they realized it too with the support coming in. Beaters may have just thrown away his... Yeah, there's no point using the Eclipse for this with the Riptide, just normal attacks. They've... Attack him! He tried to deny himself up to Roshan, but Luna just had to wait. And Bylai died. That was some confidence in Eternal Envy.
It's actually still a big investment from Speed Gaming, having Luna and Siren both TP in. They're missing out on a lot of farm, and all they really got was the Crystal Maiden. Meanwhile, Lifestealer is farming heavily on the bottom lane, and
look at his CS. But he didn't go hand to minus to start with. He's actually going to go straight into the armlet. Luna's now going to come top lane and trying to ras him back out of here at 1437. Envy just moved down far enough that he won't get shackled up, and now with the Lucem theme, again, Beaters. He's almost like Cinderin right now. DD rune coming out from Sing Sing. I'll take that kill. Even doing some decent damage to 1437. They drop the Netherward, expecting the chase. But there's no follow-up chase, and now it's Bleak who wastes his time coming to the top lane. But there is still that path which is being cut through here by the Windrunner power shot. So Dignitas do have access to the tier 1 tower, and I think Speed Gaming realizes they're out.
With the blast. I was putting some pressure on the middle lane. It's going to allow Bone 7 to catch up on the bottom lane as well.
It's 1437, has his high levels. Power shots through the mid, that's a level 3 power shot? Yeah, level 3 power shot. But this Crystal Maiden, Beaters has really been everywhere. And he's such an annoying hero up against both either Chen or Enchantress.
The thing in him being
creeps.
everywhere, it's because he dies and TPs back out, and then dies again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't really sound like the nicest way of talking about that, but...
No, but that's what happened. He was on the bottom lane, he died in a good cause, no doubt. Because he got a full level off and distracted Bone 7. And the entire Speed Gaming team, so that was just a tactical feat.
Now they bring both Korok and Bleak down to the bottom lane. This almost feels like they just want to push towers.
It's what you gotta do with Pugner. You really gotta abuse the fact that Nether Blast is one of the best tower hitters in the early game, and just make sure that all the tier 1 towers are gone.
1437's got issues.
And that's
or
the problem
maybe
for
not
Speed
him.
Gaming right now. They sort of have the best push, but Dignitas is just utilizing the Pugner so very well that they're out pushing Speed Gaming by a large margin right now, and they're gonna take their 3rd tier 1 tower, and there's still all towers up for...
I want to try something.
Yeah?
Okay, no, I can't. I thought I could push it in a little bit further.
You wanna put it into my mouth?
I don't want you to swallow your microphone, but
No.
I already have you at 100% on my desk, so... And people are still saying you are very, very quiet.
Yeah, I could be shouting, but...
Don't we just have a screaming session?
Yeah.
I don't shout that loud, do I? Actually, I remember I cast with...
I do often tune into you and then be like, I'll watch maybe 2.5 minutes, and then I'll just mute.
Thanks.
Or turn it all the way down because I can hear you anyways. Even if I'm on 1%, I'm like, yeah, I can hear him still.
I don't know if that's really a nice thing to say, or is that a mean thing to say?
It's just honest talk, Toby.
It's just honest talk, okay. I remember I played with one guy back when I was living in Australia, and we built our studio in the family room. We actually cleared out most of our house just to build a studio there. And when we were casting together, he said he had to wear earplugs. Like he actually had earmuffs on at the same time as having his in-ears, so he could hear from the mixing desk. But he just needed to have something which cancelled out the noise in the room itself from my voice. I'm like, it's slightly insulting when someone says they're actually nauseated by being in the same room while you're casting. It's like,
well, it's better than if someone told you they were being nauseated by being in the same room as you. Period.
That's good. Yeah, you're right. Looking on the bright side here, Maelk.
Exactly.
Looking on the bright side.
Glass is half full.
Speaking of glass, I haven't even had a beverage tonight. I've had my little bottle sitting over on the side and haven't even touched it at all.
I would pass you my Monster, but you don't like this flavor. There's a wide selection of other flavors though, so you should definitely try them out.
You are so bad.
There
You
we
are
go.
so bad. Do you want me to bring up the Team EG logos right now so you can see the Monster logo on it?
No,
Or the Alliance logo?
We're good.
I think Alliance has it as well on theirs.
I like to keep it subtle.
Yeah. Really? Really? Yeah. You want to order a pizza from Pizza Pizza?
No, we're done with that.
Oh, you're done with that?
For
Really?
now.
I thought there was going to be like a second wave because everyone started talking about it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I saw a whole bunch of EG people start tweeting out. It's like, oh, pizza time again?
Well, I would really love to have a pizza right now. I tell you that much. I haven't ate all day.
I'm actually...
This is why I'm so skinny. I am busy casting with you. You made me skinny.
You can thank me later.
Okay.
Cool. Maybe you can take some of my fat off me.
It's not that bad. You just look like you're...
It could be worse.
Yeah, you're just preparing for Christmas, helping out.
It's winter here in Berlin. You've got to
Yeah.
have some layers. Actually, I don't need layers. My house has heating underneath the floorboards.
Ah.
Oh my god, that's so good.
We can put it to use anyways, though. I'll buy you a white beard. And you can... Like, how's your ho-ho-ho?
No,
Can I hear it?
I have had a white beard. I actually do a decent ho. But you remember that video from 2 Christmases ago that we did from Joan Dota, and we had a little fireplace there, and I had like a little... I don't know if I had the Santa beard on, but there was definitely the beard floating around. But we did like the little by the fireside
No, I don't recall.
Christmas video saying to all a good night kind of thing, and
Oh, I love Christmas.
have a great new year and stuff like that.
That's the happiest time of year.
Maybe we can make a new thing like that this Christmas.
Definitely.
I had an idea to actually sing like a Christmas song for everybody
Right.
and make it all Dota-ish.
And I'd be the Grinch and just steal Christmas.
You'd be okay. We'll paint you green,
Yeah, that's just how I roll.
make you look like Jim Carrey. You're already halfway there.
Yeah, I got the mouth.
Don't need to expand on that one. Seems like lag is going a little bit more full on for Dignitas, as we've lost both the Clockwork as well as the Windrunner from this game. I don't know if they're playing from in the same house. Like, we got one from Canada and one from...
It may just be a long phone call.
We have Windrunner back. So Windrunner's back, but Clockwork is not. There were some issues coming out from the Dota 2 network. I don't like you guys would have seen them because I had them visible on the live stream. But the Dota 2 network also went down
Yeah.
multiple times throughout our games. It seems Valve have this very large desire to keep patching during the EU prime time.
Yeah.
Because it's when they arrive at work. So they're like, oh, we'll patch it now so we can fix it. So later on the day we fix it, break it in the morning, fix it in the afternoon.
I just think it's because they want to fix it before they get off work so they can go home and play. And them being 9 hours...
What do you mean go home and play? At 4 o'clock every afternoon, someone rings a bell and they all start playing on the dev.
Yeah. Must be
I don't know if they've actually changed it or not, because
tough life.
like Ice Strong was... Actually, it wasn't a bell, it's a set of horns. Ice Rock is a set of horns on his desk. And you like squeeze and you honk the horns. And then everyone, like, if they're like not 100% on something which they cannot walk away from, they load up their dev client and they play a game every afternoon. That's what happens at the Valve offices. Or at least that's what happened when I had my trip there like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. I've never heard that. I realized they play a lot, but...
I have a picture of it on my Twitter. I think I put it out on.
Oh, okay. It must be nice just... Like, what game do you guys want to play? Oh, I don't know, something along these lines. I want to play with like 5 guys that goes around and farm gold. Hey, let's create that game. Sounds awesome. You just create the game you want to play.
I think there's this guy that actually created a game like that. We should bring him in. He can make it off an engine which we already have.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we should make hats. Like
Hats?
Tons and tons of hats.
With shoes. You can't have hats without shoes.
And maybe dresses.
Dresses.
We can add weapons to the really, really freaky guys that wants violence.
Did I tell you about the awesome weapon that was designed...
To kill.
Yeah, to kill. But for Drow Ranger?
No.
Whole new concept for a weapon.
You're kind of freaky with the Drow Ranger, man. I'm like...
It's not freaky, man. It's natural. Everything's fine.
You know she resembles a corpse or is a corpse.
No. That was in Warcraft 3.
I'll take you to a graveyard and I'll be your wingman.
What? No. What? Oh! Oh.
How the game is going.
Yeah.
How fortunate.
Yeah. Very, very fucking fortunate. Push on the bottom lane. It's going to be bad if you've got to keep coming into the studio and casting with me. Bleed's going to get the last hit in this tower. Armlet already up at 11 minutes and already has another 1,200 gold. Phase Boots Armlet, very, very quick. His net worth is 5.4k. He's extra 1,000 gold above that of Sing Sing, who's the mid-solo. And that's not to mention how far ahead of Eternal Envy he is. Like, Envy's coming over. Like, there's no camps that are stacked up. You won't be happy with this at all.
But the net worth is predominantly based on the towers they've taken down. They've taken down all 3 tier 1 towers.
True.
And even then, it's not like... There's a lot of farm on the Nakes as well, but Speed Gaming isn't trailing that far behind because of the gold they've made in the jungle.
How's Aoi looking for his... Yeah, he's got 1,000 gold and, well, 1.1 quick gold after already picking up arcane boots. So this is going to be a really decent... I'm not going to say a great timing for a mech, but he's getting there in the Chen.
Yeah, it's fine. It's pretty standard timing for a Chen that hasn't really contributed with much in the laning phase.
Well, what's he really done? Like, we're seeing the Satyr rotation smoke.
Yeah, and he didn't even need to be there with his hero, it turned out.
Yeah. Just the Satyr by itself would have been enough.
Yeah.
Had Hawks watching out for the DD rune, and then Vitas to the face. To the face. Now, that was a little bit of overkill from Sing Sing. One more attack would have done the job. You can see Vitas trying to get the last little bit of a frostbite off. But now triggering up the DD rune. I don't know if he's trying to help Eternal Envy's farm this one up, but this is actually something to watch. I noticed yesterday from Speed Gaming when they rammed these 2 heroes together, that when that has things like ancient stacks or camp stacks, they would actually bring both of them into farm. It wasn't just one. They didn't want to focus one up. It was together forever.
Share the wealth.
Or the experience in this case. Because look at 6. He's almost level 11 up on this hero, and that's a really... Oh wow, that's a new sound. They've changed Beastmaster's Hawk sound. It actually screeches at you now.
They actually gave Sing Sing most of those last hits.
Dire's middle
Is he close to
tower is
anything?
under
He has a Demon Edge if he wants to buy it. If he wants to go straight into the damage early on. His other option is he picks up his drums. Arrow's going to fly. Oh,
my
Korok!
god.
He walked back into it. The Starfall will go in the secondary start. Not even needed. Mirana's attack will do the job, and one little ensnare from Pilot Eye and Riptide, and Shorty would stay there too.
Sing Sing Dodo.
What does he want to buy up now? Like, what has he? He's purchased something. Is it drums? He buys a straight Yasha. So we're gonna see an early Manta style out from him, or casual Yasha, but more than likely.
I think casual Yasha is very likely.
The line's been drawn to go ganking. They're asking to rotate around the front of the Rosh pit, and the Beastmaster Hawk scouting out exactly where Clockwork's moving. This is one of those moments when you also are very happy there's no BTs up. Necro booked very early up, but it's only a level 1, and they're going to fire an arrow from range here from Sing Sing and look for the perfect hit. TP up by 1437 and Naga. Okay, Windrunner just left. There's a new one coming in. The arrow, all that timing for the song coming off was absolutely perfect. But that
Infinity triggered the blade mail, and he actually killed himself with the Eclipse.
I didn't even see that item up on the Clockwork. He must have only just purchased it.
I think Dignitas made the best of a bad situation.
A 2-for-1 trade. Windrunner got out safely. It could have been 3 down there very easily as well.
Yeah, but the fact that Moonrider died for those 2 heroes was fairly well.
Funny thing is, too, Chen still had his hand of God through that. If he saw that happening, then now we possibly could have triggered it and saved the life. Are we going to see Arrow? Are we going to Decrepify? It's a dangerous thing to try and do when you got, like, still arrows on the field.
Almost a bash up on the lifesteal as well, if that is, in fact, the item he's choosing to go for.
Infest jump. Infinity. He's looking for a line to hook in. Oh, wow, he missed it. He's going to get ensnared up. The question is anybody try and come in close? Sing Sing's copying power shots to the face. Infinity even just putting on the Blade Mail at the last moment there. But they've already done enough damage to this tower. With another ward right behind him. Speed don't want to fight it. This one, the Shackle, that could have lashed to Bone 7. The arrow will connect onto Korok. Can't get that last blast off. And beat it. He's taking lower damage from the Chen. The Hand of God will pop off, and it's allowing Pilot Eye to at least stand up a little bit longer up against Infinity. But you see Envy, he's waiting as long as possible until that's going to wear off. The buyback comes from the Naga, so Pilot Eye to the front lines. He doesn't have Naga sleep. The Beastmaster Hawk's having a look, and the arrow is going to fly a little bit too high up. Lucent Beam will go. Ensnare as well to 1437. So Riptide follow-up. 1437. Well, I don't know TB's out of that. But it's going to be €3 down for the Radiant side, and Bleak not looking too healthy either. And Infinity is away to safety.
Still no real item progression on EE. He didn't die in that fight, but he didn't really get much gold out of it either. Unless he has something on Chicken flying in, but I don't think so.
I think at the end of the day, when you got...
Bone 7 has his blink deck up running on the Beastmaster though.
That was quick. I suppose when you get an offlane like he did.
And he doesn't really have anything else to show, so pretty much he spent 12 minutes farming.
So by having that blink dagger so early on too, maybe straight into the Aghanim Scepter after that. Or would you want to do that? Like when you get a blink dagger, you know you're going to get in close enough. Is it still worthwhile getting the Aghanim Scepter as the next item, or would you look for something else for your team?
Do you need to ask what item I would have gone for?
Necro units?
Yes.
I don't need to ask, no.
No, but I think the Aghanim Scepter is definitely worthwhile getting. They only add to, first of all, his tank ability as well, but also just the danger of him. Because even though you blink in, you still might not be in range. There's a multitude of scenarios. Also, the fact that you can draw from afar without having to stand in the middle of things might not be an entirely bad thing.
Looks like you did see some item progression. Ogre Club as well as Ring of Aquila. Might have been on the courier coming in. That's why we didn't see it.
Sitting on. He should have something like a second item now. But he's actually going for a Sans. Is he building a Sans and Yasha, or is he going for
Heaven's Hell, but might be the other option for him.
I love that item. I'm sad to see it isn't really used much.
BDS gets a little bit of help down here in the bottom lane. He might even have a crack at Eternal Envy. Walking around with that level 1 ultimate of his. Just Frostbite into Nova into ultimate. Support is coming in. It's coming in from the Pugner. And now also TP's in. So Frostbite time. No, ulti. Ulti not worth it with Pyla die in the neighborhood. Now he's using Ensnare. Ah, Naga sleep. How quickly does Eternal Envy die there? In Clockwork! Creep Wave in right behind him. Saving the life of the Naga Siren. And making it so the ulti isn't completely wasted by speed. But again, Envy dies. That's now his second death. Looks like up on the top lane, Bleak's in trouble. Suns, you're not. Bone 7. Yeah, there's that blink and roar going into play. But on bottom lane, you got a full-on push coming from Dignitas.
That's a good kill to pick off from Speed Gaming. Now that the Moonrider died, they picked off the Lifestealer and trade, and that's a very good trade to make, especially because Sing Sing is sitting on 3k gold on top of his Yasha right now. And they're gonna get the top tower.
But they'll lose their tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. And if they TP back quickly, they might be in a little bit more trouble too. Korok's already prepped the Nether Ward. Yeah, the Hawk will go and scout it out, but now they've lost sight of it. The rocket from Infinity. Clearing that little sucker out. And again, Bone 7 copy. A little bit of extra damage. Pylite dies are looking good, and now he's going to get shackled up. Decrepify into that drain of Korok. Draining out the mana, but in comes Eternal Envy, and then, wow, Blade Bell, just at the last moment. Didn't reflect enough damage, but they're still going to be picking off Envy here. He's used his 1 charges, and Chen tries to send him back, but there's just not enough time. Korok gets it. Hawk shot down through the wave. Chen going invis halfway through that because of the Mirana ultimate.
It's really some terrible decision-making coming out from Speed Gaming. First of all, Pyla died standing where he did. There was no sleep up. Then Chen popped off his ultimate trying to save a hero that would no doubt go down because of the shackle shot afterwards. And then
Arrow beaters. He takes it up for Korok. We're 19 minutes in, and with the power of this Pugner, they're pushing out the towers. In fact, he's got a level 2 Necro book. A level 3 Necro book if he wants to buy it. Shackle on Sing Sing. This could just be GG right now if they lose this bottom racks as well. Let's look at Korok. He's just nuking down the racks. His Bleed's got all the damage in the world. They got all 5 players here, and Mirana's on the sidelines for 43 seconds. Blink into Raw, 4 stuff down from Infinity, and the Cogs keep Eternal Envy out of this fight. Ensnare or not, the Blade Mail's also up. See me reflecting a lot of that damage back out again, and Infinity, 1 charges, and the Shackle. It got Bone 7 and Envy together. When it rains, it pours. And the bottom racks will now fully go down, range as well as melee. The top lane is, however, pushing in nicely from the Chen army, but it's a small thing. And in fact, BTs. He doesn't finish up his level 3 Necro book. Korok buys BTs first.
To quote another co-caster of yours, I don't understand what Speed Gaming is doing with their lives right now. They just threw away so many kills one by one in that situation. And EE especially was doing some questionable play on the Moonrider, being way too over-aggressive. And those 2 kills just allowed for Dignitas to walk on into the Speed Gaming base, and there was no Eclipse up, so even if there was 5 heroes alive from Speed Gaming, Dignitas didn't have to worry too much because there was no Luna ultimate. There was no sleep either.
And this is just, yeah.
I mean, it's never over when you have a Moonrider on your team, and the Priestess of the Moon is pretty farmed.
it's just disappointing when like, you look at this team. This is the team that beat Liquid as well as Na'Vi.
Yeah.
And they played a very different level of Dota up against them. And now they're just giving Dignitas the opportunities all across the map. Their draft was still solid. Same as Dignitas. But, yeah. Trying to pick off Roshan and get themselves back inside this game. On the way, 1-4-3-7 with power shots. Only hits on Roshan, doesn't affect any of the heroes. But Aui's getting bashed up. He'll have to use this mech right now. There's already a ward going down, but they've got it. Aegissimon was picked up by Luna. And now also with the Blade Mail, there's a leap out again by Sing Sing. And they're trying to use Pyladi's sleep to cover their escape. And it looks like so far it was it is. It's actually successful. Both Mirana Ultimate as well as the Naga Sleep being used. And they get out with the Aegis and the kill on Roshan.
Good plays coming out from Speed Gaming. They desperately needed some way of getting back into the game, and Roshan and the Aegis might just do that for them. Not too much gold. Is there a Yasha coming in on the Lifestealer now? On the courier?
You are correct. And the level 3 Necro books and a gem.
Who's level 3 Necro book?
That's Clockwork.
Wow.
Infinity bought a level 3 Necro book.
Wow. So the momentum they got from pushing that bottom lane is really, really going to punish Speed Gaming right now, because they're not in any position to fight 2 book 3s. Not at all.
Well, remember that Korok did... Actually, no, yeah, you're right. Korok did finish it up. I thought he didn't because he bought BTs first, but... He's finding so much money elsewhere. Like, they've got every single added tower down now, 22 minutes into this game.
And Raxus.
And Raxus. Arrow, Korok. This time Beaters doesn't take it for him. And Sing Sing almost enough damage with the Starfall, but the Roar, it goes on Bleak, and Chen got the nuke off. Clockwork jumps up and again forced to leap away, and Envy's Eclipse, well, instantly stops because he dies directly to Infinity.
Oh, Bleak actually died before he could infest.
Yeah, they jumped on him. They got the Roar off of him. Infinity now getting hit by an arrow. Shackle able to latch to the one little, like the level 1 Necro unit. Starfall will drop down. Now Speed are starting to find their fights. Forcing 1-4-3-7 back again.
And this entire game from Speed Gaming, everything that's working in their favor has just been put on the back of Sing Sing. Like, these arrows is really everything.
Arrow. Oh, it's just a little bit too far off.
On my screen, that's hit.
Just drag it a little bit further behind the Windrunner from my eyes. But the arrow is one of those deceptive things. Like, it passes through heroes, and I'm not quite sure how the mechanics of the arrow fully work, but there's something a little awry with it all.
But that arrow on the top lane really just broke the entire fight for them.
And the fact they had the Aegis mod, like if they didn't have that, then I have a feeling that fight wouldn't have gone anywhere near the way they were hoping it to.
Actually, I think it would probably have been the same. E would have just died, but they really didn't need him much in the fight. I think they picked off 1 kill because of him.
The fact that he doesn't die means he at least gets to keep his gold for once.
Exactly.
Like, look at his gold per minute. 266. He is the 3rd lowest income on the board right now. It's also going to be because of all the towers that are out there. That
we have another phone call.
Nah. I wonder if they use a banana phone. Hamburger phone?
Someone just called to say I love you.
I don't have any other references coming to mind right now.
Oh, okay. I would keep them coming, but it just gets awkward really fast.
Yeah, especially when they only come from you.
Yeah.
You're just a giver, man. You're not a taker.
That is definitely true.
I don't know how many more insinuations we can fit into this broadcast, man. Because it's already getting pretty bad. It's already getting pretty bad. But Speed Gaming with that last fight, suppose we should probably check this one out too, and you just see how much they managed to get from that. Like, you're able to pull back 6,000 worth of experience and plus on that in one fight over Dignitas. And even the gold will jump back down again. Like, okay, let's do our math on this one. How many towers are we behind? They've still got that tier 1 tower. No, tier 1 tower's lost a bit. So 3 outer towers still remain, where you've already taken out all the other towers of Speed, and you've got a tier 3 and a Rax. So you're 4 towers up right now. You're 4 towers up right now for Dignitas. And your advantage is only about 6,000 gold. And you also got the Rax on top of that.
I think like Dignitas had so much momentum. Hadn't been for that 1 arrow from Sing Sing, they could have definitely broken base and completely annihilated the Speed Gaming lineup. But because of that 1 arrow, the game completely turned around. They still have the upper hand, though. I think those 2 books, if used properly, they should be easily able to just walk into the base. Like, they put those 2 books on any given hero, and he's gonna be unable to fight.
Got some movement coming out by Speed. They threw the searching arrow up here to maybe buy some time. I'm kind of surprised too that Sing Sing's going to go into a BKB in this game. But then again, maybe not so surprised.
I think the shackle shot in particular is very scary to him right now.
Getting himself caught out in his own illusions, or what would be worse is if he got shackled up with the Lunar as well.
Yeah, stuff like that. And 1437 landed some really good shackle shots when they pushed the bottom lane, and they definitely got some kills off the back of those.
I think downside right now is, well, okay. So, screw the BKB. We go on Maelstrom on Sing Sing. Well, Beastmaster gets his 2nd level book. Dignitas come to push in again. And Envy, he needs a little bit more time.
He's gonna sell his magic wand.
Early? Yeah, you're right. He uses the charger cells, and BKB is now up. Ready for the fight. Again! 5-second arrow from Sing Sing on 1437. Yeah, Sing's illusions in for this one, but they don't have any kind of follow-up damage. But you get an arrow like that, you're feeling good. And now the level 3 Necro books are up for Beastmaster. Already looking for a couple of fights. They take out most of the creep wave.
Yeah, we have a Chen can still dominate the Necro books.
Shackle on Sing. You said it was scary, man.
Yep.
It's able to latch.
Beastmaster has his own book 3, so there's a lot of books in the process right now. Sing Sing's actually killed.
Another one. Another long arrow. Jump down. They're going to use the Roar as well to ensure the kill on the Windrunner. The gems on the deck. Bleak as well as Korok both made a run for it, but it seems like BDs had the quicker fingers. And Speed, it just seems to be so difficult to get up on the high ground. They've done some considerable damage towards the town because the blast coming out from Pugna.
I think the mistake lies in the fact that they don't send the little blue guy on to the 2 heroes. Like, if they put a blue guy on either Beastmaster or Siren, that hero would essentially be worthless in the fight if they continue to stay around. Otherwise, they would have to run around with the blue book on them and potentially all the way into either their throne towers or the fountain.
And let the rocket spam continue, but there's a TP coming back. Naga wants to cancel it. With 1 TP already back, they've got both Korok as well as Beaters caught out here. And Sing Sing, yes, it's going to be an Eclipse. Korok just obliterates himself. And now, maybe Bleak. Clockwork's going to latch in here. Blade Mail turns on. And then Pylai Die doesn't want to attack anything. They use the Marana ultimate to try and use the Invis to escape. And Aoi, he's going to get himself away to safety. And they lost the Naga for a Pugna right then. The push still doesn't come in through the top. Still stay worth it. Arrow's going to fly. Bleak. The Necro unit takes it for the
Korok's
team.
got the boots of travel.
Yeah, they're buying back. And we're getting all the Necro units up and running. There's a little domination of the creep, but already now, Frostbite, Shackle, doesn't latch with that 4-star back out again. It wasn't possible to get the double latching on. And Sing Sing still got Arrow available too, but these Necro units are blocking his path. They're going to pick a couple of these guys off.
There's no mana on the lifesteal, and Roar's back up.
And there goes your roll. And you're right about Lifestealer is being focused down and snared up. And then you got the Lightning even coming out by Sing Sing. Leaves himself out of the cogs. Infinity has still got that Blade Mail up with the BKB from Eternal Envy. He doesn't care anymore. They'll move over towards Korok. It's a double kill now coming the way of Eternal Envy. Shackle unable to latch, but there's no ensnare from Pylai Die. Is there that 4-staff coming off cooldown? It's going to be... What kind of range is that? Arrow as well, just after he did the wind run, so he doesn't have his movement speed away from this anymore. He's just locked in position. They couldn't take him directly because of the missed chances, but...
Dignitas is just really overextending so badly right now. That
well, they're trying to force it with a Pugna.
Yeah, and they're allowing Speed Gaming to get back into the game, and it's only based on the back of Dignitas' own mistakes. Like, we gotta give it to Speed Gaming. They, of course, do all the right things as well. Sing Sing landing some great arrows, and, of course, Aoi taking over the creep and putting it on the lifestealer so he has no mana. But the decision-making from Dignitas is so bad right now. It's just straight up bad. I mean, they got the tower, and the buyback from Korok might have been worth it had they not stayed in the base. They should have just said, okay, Bleak has no mana, he's half HP on the lifesteal, and there's a Beastmaster with a Raw up. Why are we even staying here?
Look at this bottom tower. There's TP support coming in, and TP out. Envy, Clockwork's going to latch him. Envy will lose his life for this one. He's not going to spend any of his last money because he wanted his helmet the Dominator, and he was short by about 100 gold or so. So he gets caught out, but they're using all 3 of their auras, or at least 2 of their auras, to bring down that tower just that little bit faster. You should also note too, Roshan respawning back up again. And that's going to happen at the, what's that, 31-minute mark? Just before 31 minutes. 32 minutes.
There's a good Maelstrom pickup from Sing Sing in helping to push out that bottom wave, because that's going to be quite the nuisance to them if they don't have anyone but Luna that can push it out, because then they have to rely on Luna being there constantly.
Oh, Bleak's running up top. We're going again, man. We're going again. This is really giving me flash.
Well, all they really need is one good executed team fight. They haven't had that for the past 10 minutes. They had so much momentum going up to that first fight. They lost the fight. Then they sort of got it back in the second fight where Korok fought back. And then they just threw it all on the floor again.
And we go. Access to fly. Netherwall is down as well. They at least get rid of that Hawk with the Nova from Beaters. But now, again, Paradise sets up with a sleep. And Sing Sing, you know he wants Korok. The arrow. The timing. It got 1437. It goes through Korok. I don't know if intentional awesomeness. But either way, Bone 7's also locked in with Infinity. Infinity now, is there a Roar? There's a Roar available. He throws it out over on the Clockwork. Marana also going up, so they got some invis to play around with. That's some good damage. Peters is at least able to get one here, but it's a triple kill for Eternal Envy. The ensnare on Bleak, the arrow will fly down, the damage, if not the stun being applied, and an ultra kill coming out for the Luna. Roshan in 42 seconds time as well. Fight after fight. Again, a Sing Sing arrow sets it up for him.
Well, that was sleep more or less.
Yeah, well, the sleep did it. But when you get an arrow fly through like that, like you already had the Pugna. Like Korok was in a position where you're just like, oh my god, this is not going to end well. And then 1437 gets done. Like your key stunner, your key shackler, couldn't do anything.
And Speed Gaming went from only having farm on Sing Sing to now actually having farm on everyone. There's some Mjolnir done on Mirana, but more importantly, like Highly Die is sitting on a Diffusal Blade on a support Naga Siren, and Bone 7 has an additional 4-staff to his Book 3 and his Blink Dagger. There's a 4-staff on AoE alongside of Vladimir's Offering. And then there's EE, who's been struggling all game, who has, well, nothing still.
Helm of the Dominator, at least.
Helm of Dominator.
Yeah, he can give himself some Frost Armor now if he wants it. I think he's deciding if he wants to kill him or not. Yeah, he's going to take it and give himself some Frost Armor. Clockwork's going to latch in. Maybe that armor can help him survive just that little bit longer. Either way, I think TP out on the BKB gets it. He's actually out to safety. Because what else have you got apart from that hook shot that goes through BKB?
Dinata.
Yep. But Dignitas, because that TP out, there's one creep that's in there that's dominated up by Chen. So they know that Roshan's alive.
They should be able to get it in time. There's no BKB up in Luna. He had to heal. He has to run back down. They can't fight with the Moonrider in this fight, and there's a book to help them actually take down Rose. Let's see.
I'll still be cautious about it because you got a long-range arrow that can fly out when you're all inside that closed area. Naga Sleep, you're right. It's also up.
And Beastmaster has complete vision of them, and they can't see that bird.
Yep.
Even though they have the true vision from the...
I got a feeling they're just waiting for the sleep to use it. Now they can't see.
Bird went down. He's going to sleep preemptively. Then.
Axe to fly gives him the vision. Naga Sleep. They got to get in there and finish the job though. And look, Bone 7, he's in here just to steal the Roshan. Aegis will pick it. He'll pick it up right now. He can't get out. He needs a 4-star. 4-star. Get out of here. No, he wants to roar into Korok. It looks like there's initiation at the back end too. Crystal Maiden just picked up the chain. Clockwork tries to latch up. That looked like he went then. But it didn't look like it must not have connected. Bone 7's on the way out of here. The Aegis was picked up by the Beastmaster. Roshan was killed by the Dire Side. So he's already died once now. Arrow flies in and it connects on Korok again.
Who else?
Decrepify, power shots. He's trying to get in range of the DD route and just is denied at every single turn. But Dignitas just lost Roshan to speed.
Yeah, it's a great play by Bone 7. So close too.
Radiant's top tower is
What would have been even better had been if Aoi had sent him home
once he went in.
While doing so.
True. But the problem you had for Aoi was he got caught out. Bleak, another arrow from Sing Sing. And Envy, oh wow, he's going to let the whole thing go. The 4-star tried to get Bleak a little bit further away, but the right-click damage from both Mirana as well as from Luna was enough to get rid of him.
Sing Sing is really making them look bad. That's all I have to say. These arrows just keeps on.
We're going to go again?
Oh no.
Radiant's top tower has
I wouldn't even been surprised if Korok took it.
Raw, 1 second. 4-star, and he got him. He's in range. And then more attacks. Starfall as well, but Luna throwing out the Eclipse.
And he's now sitting in 3k gold on the Luna, and that's when this game is really starting to look, if not grim than at least very difficult.
See, where
Dignitas.
was this team played 20 minutes ago? For the first 20 minutes, Speed wasn't getting any of this. Is it just because Dignitas have find themselves out of position? Or is it because Speed have now found that, okay, guys, maybe we should coordinate what the hell we're doing?
Let's say it's a mix of both. I mean, Speed Gaming are definitely doing what they can in staying in. Big props to both Bone7 and SingSing for their exceptional plays right now. But in the meantime, Dignitas is also really not doing the best of decision making. I'm just a bit. They were doing so exceptionally well when they pushed that bottom lane, and it seemed as if they had their strategy down, and then they just got overexcited and just desperately wanted to get that top racks and committed like, how many lives have they given away? 20 deaths or something? Just for that top lane.
Yeah. It's bad however you look at it. One thing that we should keep in mind is that Dignitas with 1 kill can get such a huge amount of gold from this guy right here. SingSing's 10 for 1.
Yeah, but
That's actually about 1,600 gold on him right now.
I thought it peaked at 1,000.
No, it definitely goes over 1,000. Remember, they changed in the recent log.
Yeah.
You're worth so
I
much
thought
more
the
money
peak
now.
was 1,000.
A 5 kill streak is worth about 1,200.
What?
Yep. Yeah, you should double check the notes for it.
Am I gonna call you out on this?
You can try and call me out on this, but I already saw it last night where actually I think it was a 6 kill streak gave just sub of 1,200 gold.
Gold for ending a spree changed from 75 to 600 over
Radiant's
to
bottom tower
125
is under attack.
to 1,000.
No, you can go over 1,000.
Maelk!
You can go over 1,000. You wait for it, man. Jump In's already going to go, and Pylon Die puts them all on sleep.
Is under attack.
Bone7, who's he going to roar? He can choose Bleak or he can choose Infinity right now.
Oh.
You got 1-4-3-7. The arrow this time from SingSing is going to miss. Into that BKB form, leaves himself up, and the roar goes out on Bleak. So SingSing's got his high ground advantage over on Bleak, while Infinity, he's going to get decrepified up to buy himself a little bit of time, but only a little bit. And that live drain, it's going right through a little bit. Chen pulls him out. Owie got him out at just the last moment. And GG Cole, they couldn't get that, and they say it's all over Red Rover. And they will jump themselves back right now, and that is GG for game number 1. Well,
We had some funny and good plays coming out from Speed Gaming, especially. Bit questionable decision making from especially EE in the early game.
well, he got caught out like 2-3 times while diving as well.
Yeah, exactly. And they definitely lost Raxus on the back of him just straight up running into them on his own. But then Dignitas just completely wasted the huge momentum they had built up in those two Necromicons. Like, if they had just been patient and slowly sieging it instead of getting hit by arrows like they did, that game would have been theirs. That was definitely their game to lose.
Well, we'll see how we go with game number 2. Man, Speed Gaming, 1 game up, and the way that all these groups tend to work out is we only have 2 games per group.
Right.
2 games for Group A and 3 games for Group B.
Very impressive performance by SingSing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing game number 2, guys, so stay tuned. We'll be back here in a couple of moments' time to see if we keep the trend going for Group B, where every match goes to 3. Stay tuned, we'll find out.